Well, boys and girls, been a busy old day in the Scruffy house today. So let's find out what I'm going to do at the end of the day.
Matron, take them away.
And a warm welcome to one and all. If this is your first time here, I'm the big fella Scruff, and I'm trying to put trading in the real world. Although at the moment, I think my world's about to come crashing down.
Are you serious?
And why? I'll tell you in a minute. But let's just say the mind might be willing, but the body ain't able, and Winky is a wild wonder that's going to get a kick in the arse, because I think she's going to kill me off by the end of the month. I'll explain. She decided she wanted another house. We got the keys today. Here we go.
You ding dong!
And you might have seen the advert about here I am in my second home and we go wild running. Well, this is the view from my house. And we're going wild running into the pub. There's no way I'm going wild running and going into the water and all of that. I've got a lovely view. I've got a pub next door. I was happy. The only problem is the house is fecked and it's going to take a lot of work to do, and she thinks I'm doing it bloody straight away. Well, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trade and I'm going to let somebody else do it. In other words, I'm going to pay somebody to do it. But that's the fruits of labour. Watch out for a lifestyle video. I'll do an update because it is quite an exciting time for us. Because 6 years ago we lost the lot and we've just bought that house outright. No mortgage, nothing. We debt free, and we have been for a long time by what I'm about to do right now. So what is it I'm going to do now? Well, I'm going to go to market and see if I can get a few pips out of it, make a little bit of money, just balancing up with what I did earlier. Now, also what I'm doing is I'm backing up what I talk about in the Discord quite often. Now, I'll put a bias sheet up. Now, the pressure at this moment is a sell, but it's actually a risky sell. You know, so it's not good. It's not a good sell at all. And it's telling me to wait. Okay. So I'm going to have to read the chart. But this marries into this, what I've done here for the guys. This is how and why the levels are incredibly important that I'm about to work with. Because they will roadmap exactly what it is that I'm looking for. And it can say, oh, thank you. Just while she's here.
Well,
right, look in that camera and tell everybody that you are a tyrant.
I'm not a tyrant.
You are.
How?
What do you mean, how?
I wasn't.
How long were you in that house before you started wrecking it?
Well, the paper was coming up. I was just helping her down to
Right. He's another picture, right? We hadn't even got to the kitchen. She went into the front room, and this is what happened. It's all over the floor already. She's already started knocking the living shit out of this place. And I hadn't even had a cup of coffee in it yet.
Oh, what happened to you? You tell what happened to you. Well, I'm just going to go this afternoon. I'm going to look round and see what's what. And then I'll go tomorrow and I'll make a plan. I bet it's Monday before you get your tools out.
The plan that I made was was actually this one.
Matron, take them away.
That's right. I found out where the pub is, and I found out that they do lunch. So I was happy. Right, let's see. Can I do my job now?
We're in for a shock tomorrow.
Huh?
Because the tools are in the back of my car.
Well,
So they'll be there.
it's Good Friday tomorrow. I'm on a day off, and there's a chippy, so I'm all right.
Well, you can
Fucking
wait for you.
slave driving cow. Can you let me for once just do my job? Right.
Fine, get your toolkit out.
And I'll get a bloody tool kicked out. I mean, bloody hell. I'll also get my foot out and stick it straight up your ass.
Your leg can't get that far.
Shut up, skinny bitch. Right. what we can see is this is starting to pull away. Okay. If I drop this down into a lower time frame, because we are closing on to the top of the hour when I start trading these things, we can see it is progressively moving down. Okay. And this level appears to be holding. So that's a good thing. We've got this strong directional move here. So what we can do is we can drop a fib onto this. And we can use the levels as guides. Well, sure enough, there's your 23, which you'll often hear me talk about. There. So that's a good entry point, if you like, a good area of attraction. Down into the 38, which is here. And again, you can see it's respected. And then the 50 is pretty much bang in the middle of this overextended candle here. So it actually highlights a very, very good take profit zone, which is here. In fact, I'll draw a zone in just to highlight that for you. So there's your fib. And there's a nice zone. So if you can get the price from there into there, that's pretty safe trade. And then as it comes through, down into this one, down into there. So these are supplementary levels. And all they're for is just entry, exit, etc., etc. Now these levels, they define what I'm going to work in. Okay. And if it bursts through and it comes up here, I need to look to the left to see what it would be doing if it did that. Well, we can also see there's another strong directional move here. But that continued to push down, right? Okay. So if this decides to turn and we go from a sell into a buy, this would then become the target point, giving this a good arena to work in and this a good arena to work in. Okay. But at the minute, it seems to have pushed up. It looks primed for a small retracement and then come back. So what I'm having to do is watch, but it is risky. And it's risky because of this. Because it'll try and come back to it. It'll try look for levels. Now, if we draw a fib on that, fib retracement, you can see it started there and that particular move ended there, where it's already come and tested the first level and rejected. So it will come, it's not uncommon for it to push back to move forward to get up to the next level, which lines up with this. So this becomes an arena. But at the minute, the sort of analysis is to the short. There is quite a bit of pressure, but we want to see if it's going to retrace and get a quick scalp of some description. Okay, so we're going to watch this, drop this down into 5 minutes and have a little look at it. And this is another good reason why you can use these. If you just go, right, slam, let's get into market, well, you're going out sitting in heat. Let it come to you. Get a first point of trigger. And then I've just worked out that it's probably going to test up here. So I can enter here and then I can average up here because it will oscillate on itself. And that's what we're going to do. So let me play this out and then I'll come back to you at the end and we see what we get. Because a couple of minutes and then it hits top of the hour and I can start having a look at a trade. Okay. Okay, guys, everything's still in play with this, and it's all right, stretched up just like what I thought it was. I knew it was going to be a sort of a risky, but I've got money out of it. There you are. And that, when I was shutting these off, I actually set in a fat finger trade, but I saw it and I killed it. Even though I could have waited and see if it went into positive expectancy, but that's stupid. As soon as I saw the mistake, I killed it off. Right, but I've already had money out of it, just like what I thought. So I've got decent money for the day, which is offsetting this red. So that doesn't bother me either, because it means even if this goes tits up, it's pretty much paid off anyway. But the elements for it to drop are still there. So if I move this back here, like I said, it would come back and touch onto these levels here, which it's done. And the premise is still for it to come down, possibly into here. And it's, well, it's starting there now. So I'm going to let it run for maybe it's another couple of hours. Maybe it's 2 or 3 hours. Let it play out and see what happens. Very, very simple. And that's the thing with trading late at night. The market doesn't move that quick. Just sort of plot, and you can kind of see that in the candles tonight. They're not really big chunky things at all. It's just it's not lighting the world on fire, shall we say. But I'll let it run for a few hours and then I'll come back to you. Morning, guys. Hope you're well. Bank holiday today, and it's going to be very quiet. But what about the trade I was doing yesterday? Yes, it was quiet, and it didn't have to take its time to fire up. As I was saying, it was just chugging along, which is exactly what I'll be doing today, because we're getting prepared to empty this house. So there's stuff everywhere. Going up to the new house, or the other house rather, and I have stuff all over that one as well. You think my life is good, but let's see if something was good. Well, as you can see in the Discord, I posted up here that it's taken its time, and they're saying, do I ever sleep? And the answer is no. I don't have time to sleep. Have you ever met Winky? Bloody hell, she is so demanding, it is unbelievable. But she's my best friend, and whatever she says, I have to do, otherwise she'll kill me. So maybe she's just a tyrant. She's wonderful. She is wonderful. But there it is there. It was starting to come into play. Now, from that, I did shut it down at that point. But this screen shows how important your levels in fibs are. Because as it was breaking through, it had the opportunity to come to here, which it has, and you can see it's rattled into it. Drop it into 5 minutes and you'll see it a bit more clearly. It actually comes into it and respects it bang on. You know, tries, goes up. There's the other level. Respected it. Boom. In it comes. So if you're working from said level to said level, you've got them right, they will pay you. So I don't need a mass amount of indicators. I don't need sort of the mystical system. I just need a framework, and that's what these give me. And why? Because they're repeatable. And that's trading. Rinse and repeat every day. Rinse and repeat every day. And what did it do? Well, there's nothing running. Got no orders running. And there you go. 273. Sort of across from yesterday to now. The rolling 24. But there's that trade. So how much was the individual trade worth? So let's have a look. So it was 46.50 plus 39.50 plus 14.50 minus 350 plus 38.50 minus 420 plus 390 plus 390 plus 2440 plus 2480. It was still 188 quid for a simple trade, but a simple trade that if I flick this off actually went nowhere. You know, if you look at the actual range of the market, it hardly moved anywhere. So you can still make your money in tight ranges. Get in, get out, get in, get out, and take what the market is willing to give. And that's the next part of trading. And a lot of people don't get that one either. They constantly think that if you have a trading account and you're reasonably good, you're a multi-millionaire. Well, no. It takes money to make money. So it's all in relation to your account. So if you've got an account that's, I don't know, say 100,000 and you're doing 5,000 a month, well, that's five grand, which is 5% of your sort of 100,000. So in 1 month, you've outperformed any bank. Well, you put that into a year, you know, suddenly it's a half decent wage, 5 grand every 10 months or 60 grand a year. And now that's a big wage. It's a good wage where I live. Right? But the actual interest and return on the account is huge. You know, even if you worked only 10 months of the year, you know, that's, you've increased it by 50%. So that 50% has become income. If in a roundabout way, if you are realistic with your expectation, you will survive this game. If you're unrealistic, you'll always live in a pipe dream. You know, it's just, oh, I'm gonna, if only. No, just be realistic. You know, if you start with 0 and end with 1, you've had a good day. And why? Because if you start with 0 in the bank and you have £10,000 in it, at the end of the day, they ain't giving you £1. You'd be lucky if you got 10 pence. So think of it in those terms, and then trading becomes a lot simpler. If you're thinking, well, I'm going to start with 0 and I'm going to end with 10,000, well, sadly, this job probably isn't for you. You're better off buying a lottery ticket. And I have these conversations every single day. And maybe that's why the channel isn't growing. So if you want to see it in the real world, do hit the subscribe button. I will help you best I can. And I can only just show you what I do. It's literally as simple as that. So, happy days. Well, I'm off up to the house. Winky is giving me a list of orders that I have to do. And fabulous. So as always, guys, trade well, keep your risk managed. But above all, do what you love. And the money will follow. See you all in the next one.